After 25 years of traveling to Hilton Head, we were looking for something new to do. A friend suggested Daufuskie Island, so we made our reservations to schedule a visit. Daufuskie is not accessible from the mainland. You need to travel by ferry. It's a pleasant 1-hour ride with lots of lovely sights along the way. Daufuskie Island is between Hilton Head and Savannah. It's 5 miles long and about 2.5 miles wide, with 3 miles of beautiful beach along Calibogue Sound. There are two primary ways to tour Daufuskie: tour bus or golf cart. Since this was our first trip, we chose the tour bus to get our bearings. If we decide to return, we would take a golf cart because it offers a lot more flexibility. There's several maps available which show the most important points of interest. I like the Rob Kennedy Trail map from Daufuskie Island Historical Foundation best. Download it before you go at DaufuskyMuseum.org. The ferry leaves Hilton Head at 11 a.m. and arrives at Freeport Marina on Daufuskie right around noon. On the day we traveled, the general store was being refurbished, so there wasn't much in the way of gifts, etc. My wife recommends you check out the Spartina 449 line of products, which originated on Daufuskie and was inspired by the views and sights you see on Daufuskie. Our tour wasn't leaving for an hour, so we stopped at the nearby Old Daufuskie Crab Company restaurant for lunch. I'll offer more on restaurants later on in the presentation. I'd suggest you start your tour at the farthest point on the Rob Kennedy Trail and work your way back to Freeport Marina so you'll be there in plenty of time to catch the 5 p.m. ferry. The 3-mile beach is really quite lovely and unspoiled. I recommend you take time to enjoy. If you're really lucky and you arrive at the beach at low tide, you may be able to see something that I was told only happens in the South Carolina Lowcountry. It's called dolphin strand fishing. Check out this video. There are 2 lighthouses on Daufuskie, but one is in a gated community and not available to the public. The Bloody Point Light is interesting to visit. The way the lights were set up to direct ships using the principle that 2 points determine a plane is kind of interesting. They're also doing some test gardening of indigo and island cotton here, with hopes of returning profitable crops to the island. Behind the Bloody Point Lighthouse, be sure to take a look at the bald eagle nest high up in a pine tree. You may even get a chance to see the eagle. There are several cemeteries on Daufuskie. This is the cemetery of one of the original families on the island. It's not in great shape, but there are some interesting headstones. There's also speculation that several of the graves are of Civil War soldiers who occupied the island during the war. We were told that this is the oldest stone in the cemetery. Mary Martinangeli Dunn donated the land for the cemetery on her plantation. The date on the stone is April 2nd of 1790. This classic Gullah home was built around 1925 beneath this beautiful live oak tree. The limbs on these old live oaks ultimately reach out and back to the ground where they begin to root and grow again. When this happens, the tree is called an angel oak. Mary Field School was made famous by Pat Conroy in the book The Water is Wide and the follow-up movie Conrack. This story offers some great insight into the Gullah culture. The building was recently renovated and used for church and civic activities. It doesn't appear it's open anymore for visitors. The first Union African Baptist Church was built in 1884 after the original building was destroyed by fire in 1881. This church still functions as the primary congregation on the island. Make sure you stop by here and spend some time. The building is usually open to the public and the interior is worth seeing. The interior is still as it's been for over the last 100+ years. Notice the imported English chandeliers and hand-carved wooden pews. Out behind the church is the old Praise House, which preceded the church. It was in these buildings that much of the music that we call gospel today originated. I imagine it being similar to attending a service in an AME church today. Take a ride down Hinson White Road and take a look at the charming representation of Gullah architecture. Most of these homes had large porches which provided cooling shade in the hot, muggy summers before air conditioning. As you travel around the island, also notice the use of blue trim, which is used to ward off evil spirits. In 2001, the Daufuskie Island Historical Foundation purchased the Mount Carmel Baptist Church and has converted it into a wonderful museum containing many items showing what life was like for early settlers on the island. Across the street from the museum is the recently restored midwife's carriage. Don't miss seeing this excellent restoration, and be sure to read the sign in front that contains the wonderful story of the lady named Sarah Grant, who served as the island's midwife for so many years. I'm pretty sure she was an incredible individual. Alright, it's restaurant time. We didn't visit Eagle's Nest at Bloody Point Resort, but I wanted to list the dining options available to you on your trip. Unless you're planning on staying overnight, you'll probably only have an opportunity for one meal. When we arrived on the island, as I said earlier, it was about noon, and we made the convenient choice to go to the old Daufuskie Crab Company at Freeport Marina. You can check the menu out online. It's basically a typical selection of bar food. The quality of our meal was good enough. Marshside Mama's was recommended to us, but since we were riding on the tour bus instead of a golf cart, we didn't make it. If you're taking a cart, I'd recommend you give it a try for lunch, and let me know what you think. Finally, Daufuskie is full of history, from its plantation life before the Civil War to Union occupation during the war, to becoming a worldwide provider of oysters in the early 1900s. After the oyster beds were ruined in the 1950s by pollution in the Savannah River, the population of the island dropped to around 100 as residents needed to move across the water to earn a living. Today, the island is primarily inhabited by tourists. The former Hague Point plantation has become a gated community similar to many of the plantations on Hilton Head Island, and the rest of the island is supported by tourism. Don't expect to find a miniature Hilton Head here. Daufuskie is still very pristine. You won't be shopping and bar hopping. If you'd like to spend a day surrounded by history and beauty on a largely unspoiled island in the Low Country, I'd recommend you visit Daufuskie Island.